I said we're moving on up to the south side. The deluxe house. Now we're moving on up.
Moving on up
to the south side. We finally got the piece of the
Yeah.
No bars off. Huh. Yeah. MCs take no bars off.
No bars off.
Hey.
Man, this is exciting.
Woo,
it's exciting today.
Son,
Woo, I feel it in my soul. I feel it in my soul.
Hey.
Man.
But you gotta start following me wearing the same stuff too.
Listen, man. Del State representatives, baby.
You gotta stop following me, bro.
Del State representatives. This is a homecoming episode anyway.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that. True.
Episode right here.
You'll see that Columbia blue and red.
I see you. Listen, when we started this show 50 episodes ago, you know, it was designed to salute artists, salute rappers, to give credit to the pen game, to the bar game.
This is true.
Man, we envisioned being able to sit with people and talk to them about their rhymes and, you know, go over the lines and their thought process when they were coming up with this stuff and ask detailed questions about bars.
Be bar journalist.
Something different, not just a typical interview where we asking you, you know, about your album, about your kids, about your whatever.
Right.
We getting deeper than that.
Hey.
And today, we are very privileged to talk to one of my guys that I'm fortunate enough to do songs with, talk to, build with, open up to me. Just a blessing, man. He's a part of a legendary group. Group that defied all odds at a time where you weren't
almost undefiable. Yeah.
The odds were undefiable.
The odds were definitely stacked.
You weren't supposed to be yourself, and these brothers were themselves, man. And I'm very, very fortunate that we're able to do this.
Shout out to being yourself, man.
Yeah, shout out to being yourself. This open bar episode, you know,
man.
But my boy, my brother, Rapper Big Pooh, man.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. We all clear now.
Everybody good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay. Shot, I'm hearing the intro, bro, and I gotta say this before we start. Do you remember when we were at Focus House? And he was cooking out?
Yep.
And we just had regular, you know, cookout stuff you put on the grill.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Keita had did he have lamb?
Lamb? Yeah.
Lamb, bro.
It was lamb.
He brought lamb to the cookout.
Yeah.
Lamb to the cookout, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. Not too many people bring lamb to the cookout.
Lamb to the cookout, bro.
We did a joint that day, right? Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man, what was that record, man? I just listened to it a few weeks back. I can't remember the name of it.
That was I think Joe went last on that.
Yep.
Yeah. And I had to go, man. I didn't even have a car at that time. Man, I've progressed in life.
Hey, look, man. We all start somewhere, wind up somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
And then end up here.
That's how it works, man.
That's life, man. That's life.
Man, I don't even know where to begin with this because it's just a blessing to be our first guest. Have you met Boardwalk Brown? Meet Rapper Big Pooh?
Man, it's a pleasure, man. I appreciate what you brothers do, man. Like, y'all definitely, you know, go somewhere with the lyrics, with the rhymes that is not done enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of stuff that we miss. Yes. And y'all brothers catch some of that.
We try
and bring it to the masses.
We don't catch everything, which is
hey, look, we all can't catch everything, but y'all catch enough.
This
you are definitely appreciated.
This is why this part of this segment of the show is so important, man. So you know, to be able to talk to, you know, an artist such as yourself about your pen game and what you do, man. So talk to us about the inspiration for the album. We're gonna start there.
Yeah, man, the album, man, it was just me letting go, man. It was me just really going in and wanting to give an honest picture, an honest look, an honest assessment of what my journey has been, what my career has been. And the crazy thing is, I went in and I was like, yo, I'm gonna talk about my journey in the industry, and it ended up becoming my journey as a man. Like that's really what the album became. Even though the stories are, stories evolving around events since I've been in the industry, the deeper, when you peel back that layer, which I'm sure we'll get into, when you peel back them layers, it's more, the themes are heavier than just, industry themes. Like they're coming of age themes in this record. So yeah, I just wanted to give an honest look, honest, picture of what life is or what life could be. And, just to let young cats know, man, like, it's all right. You know what I mean? We get tricked by Instagram, and we think everything's supposed to be shiny and perfect. And, that's not what life is. Life is full of lessons, AKA mistakes. And, life is full of downs and ups and, good times, bad times, and all that shit. So, I just wanted to share it, man, and be open, be an open book. I said earlier, like, I can't ask my young guys to be themselves and be honest without, walking it like I talk it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple of verses that we want to talk about. I don't want to hold you too long and play all of them. So we're gonna have little, points and questions and things like that. But I do want to play something. So I'm gonna
absolutely.
Let me see if y'all can hear this right here.
After fight pass, that's when me and Tay made up. Not talking about regrouping, we talking about recouping for the time lost. For about 5 years, took time off, playing catch up. Look, me and my brother back talking, that's a step up, but life tried to hand me one. I'm working, manage on the side, but one thing's for certain, my wife never had to lift a finger, whether it was Amazon, drive Uber, drive Lyft, or concentrate on my gifts. My nigga, I was down, but I did not quit. If you're looking for a side story, that's not it. I was persevering when you accustomed to the crowd cheer. Now all you hearing are your thoughts and that spark that you had only mentioned in the past. That's when you gonna grasp if you really built the last. We're here for the hustle, time to break through that pain. When the smoke finally clears, after all these years, I've been breaking out of fear to never dance in the rain. Felt vain, laying in a hospital with a blood clot saying, God, just get me through. I got so much left, know you see that too. No promises, to bounce back, more climb up a steep hill. This is you versus you, this is all will. This is digging down deep, it don't involve skill. Put it on the vision board, watch it manifest. Adding color to my dream, talking life at its best. High rise with a beam, straight ahead, no net.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Like, it's almost like I gotta make sure I'm not dreaming right now.
Yo, I gotta chill right now.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because, like, when we first came up with the idea for the show, it was, of course, getting to the point of having artists come on and kind of get into their thought process and the stories behind some of these verses, but to be able to listen to and just dive into verses that have some depth and some meaning and that are personal and that are lived experiences. Like, a lot of music right now is just so superficial. It's popping bottles, it's cars, it's Molly this and Molly that. And you know what I mean? We don't get to know people anymore. Rappers come in a package now. So to be able to be secure enough in yourself to be able to give off this kind of, let you know what you're dealing with. I mean, every rapper want to feel like they never had to work a 9 to 5 in their life, like they've been getting money. Yeah. So to be human enough to be like, yeah, I work Amazon, I work Uber, I work Lyft. Like, this is real stuff.
I feel a tear for
yeah. Like, this is stuff that, like, the average everyday person should be able to relate to, and we want to salute you for that because, again,
thank you.
Not everybody's secure enough in themselves to want to give that side.
And the crazy thing is when on the Little Brother album on Right on Time, and I put that bar in about driving Uber. And I put it in, like, I just wrote it, and then after I recorded it, I was like, like, I don't know. And And I thought about it. I thought about changing it, and Tay told me he would have let me change it, but when the album came out, that Uber line would have been in there anyway. He wouldn't have. He'd have let me thought I changed it. but the thing was, what I recognized, what I noticed from that was the people that started hitting me up on my phone, the people that started DMing me, and it was like, "Yo, man, you talking my life." Like you talking, this is my story.
Yeah.
Like that resonated with me. I felt that. And Tay told me something. He was like, "Yo, bro, I knew you were on a different level when you spit that rhyme." And I heard that bar. And I said, now Pooh ready.
Wow.
Now he's here.
Wow.
I didn't see it that way. It's scary shit. Like it's scary. It's scary to reveal that truth, but seeing how it affected people and seeing the, you know, how people reached out to me or not reached out to me, but how people applauded me for speaking on that. Man, I can't look, man. I can't ask for anything more, man.
True.
Yeah. I've heard you and Tay kind of talk about the story of Fife's passing, kind of, you know, getting y'all speaking again. So talk about this first line after Fife passed. That's when me and Tay made up. Not talking about regrouping. We talking about recouping for the time lost.
Oh yeah. A lot of people didn't know. Me and Tay didn't speak for 5 years. From 2011 to 2016. We didn't speak. Like I think we did, like we had to send a couple emails for some business stuff, but it like not a lick of words was spoken, not a text, anything. And so when I reached out to him after I found out Fife passed and he hit me back and we got on the phone. For us, man, it wasn't even about music. Like we ain't give a shit about music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we've always had certain discussions, but more than anything, it's like, yo, I missed 5 years of his kids growing. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I missed 5 years of him growing. He missed 5 years of me growing. You know, so it's things that we missed in each other's lives. Like the music was whatever. It was life we missed. And, you know, I told him it was times where I was like, damn, man, things will happen. And the first person I would want to call or text would be you, but we weren't speaking. So like, it's one of them things where you know, you want to hit that person like, yo, man, just, you see this shit was crazy or this happened. But then you remember you ain't talking to that person and but you missed that, you know what I mean? And so, so yeah, that's I wanted that was the last song in the album, and I wanted it to really touch on and really represent what us reuniting meant, and not just in the musical. That's why the first verse was more personal, and then the second verse was more talking about us reuniting in the musical sense, while the first verse was us reuniting in the personal sense.
Gotcha. Now, me and Brown are both married. We want financial freedom. We don't want our wives to have to work.
Right.
But you saying you don't want your wife to lift a finger.
A finger. Not
a single.
Not a single finger.
Not one, man. I mean,
I love it.
I was, you know, my mom, I've been married longer than my mother, right? And so, you know, I didn't grow up seeing that type of relationship in the home, you know, a two-parent home. I didn't grow up with a father in the house and, you know, seeing how, you know, to become a man, so to speak. You know, I didn't get to watch it, you know, so, you know, I did have other male role models, but I wasn't in the home with them to see how that was supposed to go. So for me, I had to lean on what I thought was right. And what I think is right is it's my responsibility to take care of the home. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do legally to take care of the home. So, and, you know, I made sure the bills were paid. I made sure we ate. I made sure the lights was on. We had internet, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
But listen, you'll be surprised how many of us get lost in the, as small as that word is, the way you emphasize legally.
Oh,
as simple as that is, it's so many of us that be like, well, we got to get any kind of way we can. So, and again, that's again more of a salute to you as a man, you as a person, like where you are now. Whereas 21, 22-year-old you may not have thought that way, but as you evolve, as you get older, and as as life progresses, you think different. And even when you get to like at a line where you were like putting things on the vision board, watching manifest, like even that's, you know what I mean?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I'm telling you this, my brother. I've always wanted to get it legally. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I have an older brother who's been an example of what not to do. And he's currently in federal prison right now. I speak about him in different songs, but he's currently in federal prison right now. And I ain't never want to be that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't never want to be there. I never wanted to, he spent most of his, adulthood in prison.
Really?
And it's like, nah, bro. The freedom that we thought we had, we really don't have, but it's better than being locked up.
Right, exactly.
I choose this freedom any day.
But we all know rapper and job is like the most taboo shit ever.
For
like,
real.
Job is worse than having a girlfriend.
For real.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So you and I have traveled the independent route, so we know what it's like to win at one point and not have the money coming in the way it was. So I know I went through it. 2012, substitute teacher, which was a line that I had put in a rhyme years ago. And then here I go introducing myself. How y'all doing? I'm Mr. Williams.
Manifestation.
It felt like shit. So the Amazon Uber is that real? Is that metaphoric? Is that something?
Nah, that's real, bro. Like I drove Uber off and on. So the thing about it was I drove Uber and Lyft because it allowed me flexibility. So if I needed to, I didn't have to worry about asking nobody for time off or if something pops up when I'm out, like the little brother reunion show, I did one ride that day. And
you talk about it.
I dropped that guy off and I was out. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I did those things. And even Amazon, it was they still have it, a program called Amazon Flex, where you delivering packages in your own car or whatever. But it's the same thing. You just sign up for a block and you go do it, and then you ain't got to do nothing else. You know what I mean? Right. So that was the point of them jobs. I tried substitute teaching, but I was like, fuck them kids, Michael Jordan style. But it wasn't even really the kids. It was more the system, how the system is set up. But
that sucks.
So I tried that, and I was just like, yo, I just want to maintain my flexibility. So it wasn't no capping them raps, baby. That was me. I was out there. I've had people who they've been in my car and they hit me with the, yo, man, you look familiar. You look like somebody I know. And I would just let them sit there and stew it over, and I wouldn't say anything. I remember somebody got in the car. I created a playlist, and I had a foreign exchange on the playlist, and I had like my favorite foreign exchange song, "Dream of Me," on. And it was booming. And he said, "Ooh, what you know about this?" I just started laughing. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I was like, I know a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. So, that's all you can say at that point.
Yeah, it's just like I know a little bit. And then there's been people who got in the car and knew exactly who I was. So, I was out there, man. I was in them streets, man. 4.97 rating, you know what I mean? Out of 5. You know what I mean?
Love it. Okay.
I remember my rating, you know what I mean? So,
magna cum laude numbers.
You know. Hey, look, man, I said in another interview, man, the thing for me was once I decided to talk about all this was we applaud those who go the illegal route, and we cheer that, right? But when you find out somebody is has a job of any sort but a legal job, people shame them. And it's like, that's ass backwards, fam. Like, and so I just wanted, because Shy, people don't realize like what we are used to seeing on TV or here on the radio, those are exceptions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is not the norm.
No.
Okay. Those are exceptions. It's not a lot of those. Like, and it's people out here who say they have things and money and they really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between me and them, I ain't gonna fake it. Like, what I have is what I have. What I got to do is what I got to do. And that's the thing, because this isn't, you don't know when money coming in all the time. Like, it's not like, yo, every month I'm gonna get $5,000 or $10,000. It's like, you can have 3 great months and you can have 6 months of
real
zero.
Like, real dry.
Nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that was the thing for me, man. Like, I just wanted to talk about it and share, because, you know, to the young folk out there that's trying to make it in this industry, there is nothing wrong with having a job. Nothing. And absolutely nothing.
And they absolutely need to hear that.
They do.
Absolutely.
They need to hear
I needed to hear it at damn 21, because I was hiding. I was definitely hiding it. But what I love about this verse, the middle of this verse, when you talk about it not being a sob story, like, if you're looking for a sob story, that's not it.
That's not it.
I was persevering. And then you talk about the crowd cheering. So aside from the money, like, how did you transition from what you talked about, just being noticed, being famous in your own right, to the thoughts in your head? You compared the crowd cheering to the thoughts.
Right.
Like, that's
it's crazy.
It's tough, man. Like, I think the thing I had to get over is I had to put my ego to the side. That's the thing that prevents a lot of people from actually making it, right? Like, and I don't mean making it as in making it and becoming a star. I just mean making it in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is ego. You know, you think certain things are beneath you, or, you know, I shouldn't have to work. You know, I'm Rapper Big Pooh from Little Brother. Bullshit. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
Bill's like, nigga, who?
Yeah. Who? Them bills say Thomas Jones. You know what I'm saying? They don't say shit about Rapper Pooh. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was the ego. It was putting that ego to the side, and it's like, you know, it's crazy. You know, you're like, yo, man, I was performing for thousands of people, and now I'm driving people in my car, or I'm delivering packages, or I'm sitting in this class with these 15 kids who don't know shit. Like, it's an ego. But once you remove your ego, man, the blessings come flowing, bro. Like, they come flowing, and that's the best way I can describe it. Is like, once you take ego out the picture, and that's what that line is. It's like, when you're accustomed to the crowd cheering, all you're hearing are your thoughts, and that spark that you had only mentioned in the past.
Crazy.
That's when you're gonna, if you really built the last, or just here for the hustle. It's like, yo, what you here for?
Right.
And that's what it was.
Whew, man.
If I had to pick one, like, it's these last 6 to 8, like this bounce back, more climb up a steep hill. This is you versus you. This is all will. I'm like, this is digging down deep. It don't involve skill. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is not. So you mean to tell me it's not about me trying to be somebody else that I'm not? This is all just me against me. Like, this is internal. This is, and I don't think people are, again, they're not open enough to having that conversation. Like you're saying, killing your ego and not feeling like there are things that you are just too proud and or too good to do, whatever that may be. So like that last couple of bars, I got to sat back like, like
vision board, manifesting, all of that.
Like, man, talk about it, man. Talk about it.
Thank you, man. The crazy thing is, right? So rest in peace, Sean P. I remember when Sean P. when he reinvented himself, I'll say, and he went from Ruck to Sean P. And he was like, "Yo, I'm the brokest rapper, you know, right?"
About it.
And You know, and he took pride in the fact that while he wasn't broke, right, he wasn't what people would think. You know, he wasn't
rapper rich.
Yeah, he wasn't rapper rich, right?
Right.
And so just seeing that, like, I had to think about that, right? I was like, damn, he really came back, right? And that's was his what he was saying as he was coming back, and people gravitated to that.
Yes.
Right? They loved it. Like, yo, somebody that's here with us, right? Even though he wasn't, but it made him feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so what I started as I was on my own personal journey, and I started to realize is like, man, this ain't got shit to do with nobody else. This is you battling you at the end of the day. Like, you know, it's me battling my ego, it's me battling my pride, it's me battling, you know, whatever hangups I have. Like, fuck what anybody else got to say. Like, what my house is what's important, you know, not what some stranger on the internet may think or say about me or whatever. Like, what happens in my house is what's important. What my people around me, who I consider family, what they, you know, how they look at me is what's important. And, you know, like I said, it was a battle, but you know, once you realize that that's what the true battle is, you know, that's what them last bars are. It's me realizing, like, it was me really battling me this whole time. Like, I wouldn't, whatever anybody else had to say or their expectations of me, that ain't got shit to do with me. Exactly. It's me battling what I thought I should be doing versus what I needed to be doing. And what I needed to be doing won out. Like,
that's real.
Yo, I don't have to rap again. If I felt like I needed to rap again, I listened to this album. I'm like, this is exactly what I was going to say. This is it.
I'll never forget. I remember OG told me life doesn't begin until you stop caring what people think.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, once you throw that part out the window and everybody else's opinion is pointless and it don't mean nothing.
Yeah. Bro, that's when you start living.
Yeah, that's when you live.
That's when you start living. That's real. That's real.
Before I get to this next verse, I want you to talk about the blood clot and the health.
Yeah, man. 2013, I found out I had a blood clot. I thought I had pneumonia. Like, first I thought I pulled my calf muscle because I was jogging. Like, I had just lost 60 pounds and I was jogging. I was training for a 5K, and I went to I took a couple flights, and then I ended up going to Detroit to work with young RJ and T3. And young RJ had his crib, and it was like 3 flights. Like, I was staying on the 3rd floor, and I got up them 3 flights, and I thought I was gonna fucking pass out.
Wow.
And I was just like, yo, what the fuck? So I came home, which was dangerous. I didn't even know, but I came home, and I went to the urgent care, and she sent me straight to the emergency room. Now, mind you, I've never been admitted to the hospital for anything in my life up to that point. I was 33 years old. Wow. Never broke a bone, any of that. So I get to the hospital, I get to the emergency room. They run some tests, and the doctor say, yeah, I'm gonna have to admit you. You got a blood clot. And I'm like, shit, like, that lady saved my life, yo. Like, saved my life. So the crazy thing is they couldn't figure out exactly what caused it. It was just like, yo, just a perfect alignment of all the wrong things. Dehydration, not getting up on the plane. You know, even though I had lost that weight, I was still overweight. And, you know, it changed my life. You know what I mean? Like, knowing that you was close to death, like, it changes your life. And unfortunately, it also changed the crazy part. It changed my health as well, because I got put on medicine, and that medicine has wrecked me. You know, so for all you motherfuckers out there talking about, damn, nigga, you need to lose weight. Like, I'm on medication, fam. Like, they do people's body different. But like, I couldn't. The crazy thing, I was on medicine. I couldn't eat leafy greens like that. Like, anything healthy affected the medicine. Like, leafy greens, what is it? Like, vitamins, you know, supplements, working out, like, all that shit affected the medicine. Yeah, in a negative way. And I literally just got switched off onto a different type of medicine so I can get back to eating how I want and pretty much living how I want. Now that medicine way more expensive. But yeah, that blood clot, man, changed a lot in me, bro. Like, I don't really drink that much anymore.
Me neither.
That's why I turned into a
You must talk about me neither.
Right.
Picks up a drink.
That's why I turned into a red wine guy.
Okay.
Red wine's good for you.
Yeah,
it is.
And the edible guy, I turned into that.
Can't go wrong with those
at all. But nah, man, like it really changed my life, man, in different ways, but health wise, of course, but it also changed my mentality. You know what I mean? Because shit, I thought I was finna check up out of here at 33. Matter of fact, I hadn't even turned 33 yet. It was a few weeks before my 33rd birthday.
Oh wow.
When it happened. So blessed, fortunate, but that what I said in it was real, man. I was like, yo, not yet. You know what I mean? Like I didn't show it on my face. I'm not a guy who shows a lot of emotion. That drives my wife crazy. I don't get too high, I don't get too low.
Yeah.
And so I didn't show it, but I was sweating like a motherfucker inside, man. So that was 2013, bro.
All right. We don't want to keep you too long, but I got one more.
No, we good, man. This my shit, man. We good.
Hey, I love it.
It was Saturday late afternoon. I was chilling, thinking about making a couple dollars, Lord willing. The prospect of doing Uber trips not appealing, but I'm trying to get money in the right way. First ride, headed to the other side of town. Tay pop up on the phone, but of course he called now. Send a voicemail, then he called right back. I'm seeing what the deal, passenger in the back. First show in 8 years, 15 with all three. Got a 2-hour trip to rock the AOC, LB back at it. I'm shocked like y'all decide to make an album. You know who not involved. Your life from the loop, stop it. Ain't nobody over here concerned about the optics. It's all about the product, never settle for less. After made a little watch, I can pound my chest. In the world here, being down didn't break my spirit. When I started on the journey, I was given no promises. So I said, if I ever bounce back, I'ma pull back the curtain. Time to show you who Thomas is.
Yeah. Show him who Thomas is.
Whew.
Oh yeah.
Talk about him.
Man, I picked that verse. I wanted to. I mean, the visual, of course. It just when you do these stories, it just sucks us in, and I could just see you driving. I was like, I have to talk to him about this because I can see it. See the phone call. I can see you sending him the voicemail. Passenger in the back. Just the conversation, and I imagine what that felt like. I imagine like being in this position because I've been in the classroom and gotten calls that were connected to my old life. And I'm like, I gotta take this, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, just put me there, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. So I mean, it's just like I told it, right? So I start off talking about my mindset for the day, because the night before, me and Sean Don, brother Finn the DJ, we had just did a DJ gig in Charlotte, because I had started DJing, and so we did a DJ gig in Charlotte, and it was a door deal gig, and people ain't accustomed to me DJing. What the fuck is that, right? So, we made a little bit, but we ain't make what we wanted to make. So the next day, I was like, shit, I guess I'll go out and make a little bit of bread.
Right.
And true as the story, first ride, I get a cat, and he's going like 20 minutes to the other side of town, and Tay calls me, and I sent him the voicemail, sent him straight to voicemail, and he called me back. He called me right back.
Wow.
So I tell the dude in the back, I said, excuse me, man, I gotta take this call. So I pick it up and I'm like, hey, yo, Taylor, let me call you right back. He's like, no. Hold on. I got a knife on the phone. Hold on. And so I'm like, so that stopped me. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this? And so that's when he tell me like, yo, Royce missed his flight. Dude asked me, do I want to do the show? I'm like, hey, shit, this could be an LB thing. So I'm just listening and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, how y'all feel? They was like, yo, we in. How you feel? And I was like, I mean, if we doing it, we doing it. So I said, I got 2 questions. 1, what time do I need to be there? 2, What that money talking about?
How much?
Yeah. So we go through, you know, money convo, and Tay was like, yo, I'm gonna call you right back. So he called dude, get it to a number we all happy with, or could be happy with.
Right.
Call me back. I'm like, all right. So what time I gotta be there? He was like, it's like I think I had to be there in like 3.5 hours. Now, mind you, I'm 2.5, 2:45 away, right? I dropped dude off. It took me 20 minutes to get back to my crib. I got back to my crib. I just grabbed the first things in the closet that I didn't have to iron.
Yeah.
Put them on. Hopped in the car. I made a couple calls. First, I called my wife because she wasn't home. And I was like, hey, I'm on my way to Durham. She was like, what? She thought I was doing an Uber ride. I said, this is not an Uber ride. I was like, Tay called me. I gave it a quick rundown, and I was like, I would love for you to have went with me, but I couldn't wait. Like I couldn't wait for you. I don't know where you was at or when you was coming back, but I couldn't wait. I got to go now.
Yeah.
So got off the phone with her. I called Doe. I was like, yo, we about to make this announcement on Twitter. And, I wanted you to hear it from me versus seeing it on Twitter like everybody else. And then I called my man, Rich. My man, Rich, who actually co-executive produced the album, and he produced on that track as well as others. He's been like a mentor to me. We like brothers, but he's been a mentor to me. And the first thing he said to me when we met in 2013 after my blood clot was, yo, I want to get you back to the level where you're supposed to be. And so he's been helping me as far as, guidance and advice and, seeing other sides of the industry, like not just concentrating on Pooh the artist, but, he's why I went into management. He's why I went into A&R, like when I did. So, so I call him because among other things, he's like Nostradamus, right? Like he's predicted of a whole bunch of shit, as far as my career and little brother, that I shrugged him off when he used to say it 2013, 2014. But here we are in 2022, and a lot of this shit has actually happened. And one of them things was, yo, y'all gonna get back together, man. The people ain't done with y'all.
Yeah.
So I called him to tell him all this. I did all these calls in like 20 minutes. Then I put my phone on silent, and I had to listen to a whole bunch of Little Brother songs.
I would have been. That was my next question. Like, did you know the lyrics to these songs anymore?
I drove this like two hours, about 2 hours and 10 minutes. I said a prayer, real quick prayer as I was driving. And then I just started listening to old Little Brother song. And I was listening to records that I remember us doing. It's like, okay, I know we do this. I know we do that. Because I had no idea what the set list was going to be on any of that shit.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was it, man. Like, I got up there, and I got there before Tay did. Ninth was there, and I was just like, he just running down all the songs. Him and Tay, I went over and put into a song bank, if you will. And our DJ, Flash, was there. And I was just like, nope, I'm not doing that. Don't remember that. Okay, yeah, we do that one, but we only do this much. And the crazy thing was when we got on stage, when me and Tay walked on stage and we started rolling, like everything started kicking in, like the reflexes started kicking in. And it was like, okay, yeah, I remember on this one, I do this, did he do that? And so it felt so good. I think it felt right, not good. It felt right. The next day, I went to Tay's house. I went to go get my check. And Tay was like, yo, I'm going to cook out. So he cooking out. And before anybody else got there, it was just me and him and his wife and son. And he was like, yo, man, now I think the time is right. And I was like, yeah, I think you're right, bro. I think so. I think last night let us know we it's time. So, and that was 2 hours. I mean, not 2 hours. That was 2 years after we first started back talking.
Wow. So it really was a recouping and not just talking to regroup.
That was the first thing we did musically.
Wow.
That's
like in 2 years, like since we started back talking.
That's crazy.
So, but yeah,
how far y'all live from each other?
2 hours and 45 minutes when it's nighttime.
He said when it's nighttime.
Yeah, I can get from my house, and I only know that because when we recorded Made a Little Watch, I would go to his house. Like, we recorded at his home studio, so I would basically move in for like 3-4 days at a time.
Yeah,
and I remember, like, I would always leave. Like, I would go up there during the day, and then whenever I came home, I would leave at night. And I know it was always quicker at night. it was always quicker at night.
Less cars.
Yeah, I think it was a clean 245, like with no traffic.
Wow. So you mentioned who's not involved in the album. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, a little bit. I'm gonna say the rest for the documentary, but
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, it just wasn't a good fit, and it had nothing to do. Well, I don't want to lie. It did have something to do with creatively, but mostly it was just as men. You know what I mean? Like, and we're at an age where, look, man, if the vibe ain't right, the vibe ain't right, man. Like,
can't force it.
Like, it's that simple for me, and it just wasn't right. And so, he want different things, than we want. And I think one of the key things for me is like, me and Tay did Little Brother when we were. I'm gonna say, Tay always says, like, yo, it's like we did college when we were supposed to do college. You didn't. Now you want to go back and live like, like we in our late teens, early 20s, bro. We can't, like, we not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, this is not how this is going to go. And so that's, he ended up not being involved. And I think energy wise, sonically, music wise, all that, I think we ended up making a better album. The energy was better and all that, because we didn't have that person that we didn't necessarily vibe with on a man-to-man level, wasn't involved. And so I think you could see that and you could feel that in the music. And then when we did our press run after.
Gotcha. Is the documentary going to talk about the breakup? Because I know you and I had a conversation one day. I don't know if you remember, but you told me, like, we talked for like over an hour. You just gave me the whole.
Yeah, nah, we go through it all, man. We don't, this ain't a fluff piece, bro. Like, that's the one thing we didn't want to do. We watched. I mean, Tay watched way more than me, but I watch documentaries, and the one thing I always notice is, a lot of people like to skip over the bad stuff. They don't really want to. Nah, we talk about it all. Me and Tay, we talk about our ups and downs, and the different ups and downs within the crew, whatever. And we just go over it all, because for me, I was like, yo, I just want, it's not going to be all questions answered, because we couldn't go that deep in the weeds. It's going to be people watching this documentary that's just hearing about us for the first time.
Right.
So we couldn't go that deep in the weeds. We couldn't nerd out, but it's going to answer a lot of questions for people that's been following Little Brother since 2003, and hopefully it'll stop a lot of questions as well.
That's everybody's questions.
So a question at the end of the verse, you mentioned who Thomas is.
Right. It's this album is me, man. Like, I'm a guy who, I'm a simple guy, man. I don't want much, man. I like my quiet. I like my alone time. Because I think people get it confused. Like, I'm a really, and they'll definitely see when the documentary come out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a shy. I don't want to say shy. I'm a quiet guy, man. Like, I don't need a lot of attention. I don't like a lot of attention. I like going in the grocery store and the same grocery store and still spending 45 minutes in there to get 10 items. Because I got to check out, see if they got any new shit. You know, I'm that guy, man. I like taking drives, just me and my thoughts, and you know, yeah, that's me. I'm a simple guy, man, and you know, a person who had to figure out that sharing who I was is going to help a lot more people than not sharing who I was with the platform I have. And hopefully, I mean, shit, even if it helped one person, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this industry, you know, I always tell young people before you come into this industry, please, 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 if you don't have an idea of who you are, I hope you have some very good people around you.
Absolutely.
Because this industry will fucking chew you up,
spit you
out, and then stomp on
grab
you.
Your phone.
Like that's what this industry does to people. And you know, fortunately, you know, I have people around me that keeps me, you know, humble. I have people around me that, you know, hold no punches. I have people around me that show unconditional love. Like whether I was driving Uber or Lyft or doing Amazon or substitute teaching, I was still, you know, Pooh the homie, you know what I mean, or Thomas the friend. And it wasn't because of, you know, my rap career that they were around. So so I've been blessed, man. You know what I mean? Like I can't, I know it's a lot more people out there, and they will never tell you, and they would never show it, and you would never be able to find out looking at their Instagram, but they are doing not well.
Listen,
not well.
Sean P was my motivation as well for peeling back the layers, man. I heard him do an interview talking about, you know, if I go broke and I got to work at Walmart, I'll be Sean P working at Walmart. And I was just like,
it's still gonna bar you up.
Still,
like
without question.
I don't care what I've done or do for work or whatever. You can't put this album on and say shit other than this is a fantastic album.
Yeah.
And you don't know if I was working a 9 to 5 when I was recording it. You don't know what the hell I was doing. My man Superstition, man. Shout out Superstition.
Shout out to Superstition.
He said something. Well, he says it all the time. And he say, look, man, I go to work. Okay. I like getting paid every week on time.
Hey.
I like benefits. Like I need benefits. And I will still wrap you motherfuckers under the table. Like, and that's real. Like that's
real.
That's real. Like what I do when I'm not on the mic has no bearing.
There's no bearings
on what I do on the mic. Like
absolutely.
And that's just what it is.
We always talk about coming up in a time in those early 2000s where like the image was so important. Even when Little Brother dropped, like you guys didn't have to conform and you were still able to reach people. Like I think that's a true blessing because I was in a position where I had aspirations of being myself. I tried, but I didn't have people around me to tell me, "Yo, be yourself." It wasn't there, man. So the LS400 record,
that record, man. That shit was about confidence, bro. Like, that's that whole record was about confidence, man. Me buying shit that I really didn't care about to make me feel more confident, which it didn't. Like that shit didn't matter, you know. It was just like, yo, that confidence got to come from within. It ain't gonna come from material things. Is, you know, I bought that Lexus. I mean, I love that car. Don't get it twisted, but I bought that Lexus because it was a Lexus. You know what I mean? Like,
one. So
you know,
hey, look, man.
Do that.
I didn't even know. I didn't know shit about cars at the time. I literally just bought it as a Lexus. Now I know how great them cars are and why. You know what I mean? But yeah, I bought that shit because it said Lexus, man. I was like, hey, I can't afford a Mercedes, but I can get this Lexus, baby. You know, I had jewelry and shit. I don't wear liquor jewelry now. You know what I mean? Like, I had a whole bunch.
Man, you need to come to Atlanta, man. You hang with us, man.
Hey, look, man. Like that's me, man. I watch sports, man. I spend time with my lady. Yeah, that's about it, man. I don't even listen to as much music as people think I listen to these days. And another person I want to shout out, J. Cole, bro. Like seeing when J. Cole put out 2014 Forest Hills Drive, that's my favorite J. Cole album. But when he put that out, he wasn't going for singles. He wasn't. It's like he stripped everything back and just decided to be Jermaine Cole.
Yeah, true.
And that changed his career trajectory like fucking crazy. Just being him.
Yeah.
And I've got to spend some time around him, and that's him.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so just to see that and be like, yo, like, I mean, obviously he was J. Cole before Forest Hills Drive, but to see how his career really went after that, man, that shit, I was like, yo, that's fucking amazing, bro. Like, that's how it should be.
That should be the formula. Like, you shouldn't have to fit yourself into this box or feel like being you is an issue. Like, you should be able to be you.
Yeah, it's the crazy thing is you see it in fashion, you see it in music, you see it in all different things. It's like in our era, not to be the old guy on the yard.
Oh, man, we always the old guys.
But in our era, we prided ourselves on individuality. Like,
absolutely.
When I was buying shoes, it was because I wanted shoes nobody else had. I remember being on tour with Evidence, and Evidence, he bought shoes, and we were in Philly, and there was a race to see who could get a shoe that the other person couldn't find. It wasn't like, oh, we're gonna go get the same shoe.
Right.
It was like, if I knew he had a shoe, I wouldn't go buy it.
I wouldn't want it.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
So we were about individuality. This is before Clinton did that, whatever that act was that made buying up radio stations legal, where you could go to New York and you heard one thing, and then you go to DC and you heard something different, and then you go to Houston and you hear something different. So that's how we grew up. Nowadays, everybody's in a rat race for the same thing. It's like, oh, MC such and such got it popping. We need you to be like MC such and such now.
Yep.
Versus, oh, MC such and such doing this shit. Okay, we gotta go left.
We gotta go completely left.
We can't do what he's doing. And that's kind of it's the different eras. We just grew up in a time where individuality was cheered, and now, you niche.
Yeah. That's why we sound like the old guys on the block, because we came up in an era where, being different and being able to not sound like everybody else was a thing.
It was the thing.
It was the thing. You didn't want to sound like everybody else. Like, it was a whole skit. I don't want niggas sounding like me on no album.
No album.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. That's not what we want. But now everybody is in a. I mentioned this a while back. I don't know what kind of shit Rod Serling was on. I'm a Twilight Zone junkie, but it's an episode of the Twilight Zone, and it's called Number 8 Looks Good on You. This episode was done back in like 1950 something, but now it's about after a certain age, everybody looks the same. Everybody goes to a place and everybody looks the same. Like, you pick up a look that you want, and that's what you go with. I don't know what he was thinking about back then, but that shit is today's time. But I say all of that to say, like, yeah, there was a thing to, you wanted to be different. You wanted to have a sound. You wanted to have a look. You wanted to have like a character. Yeah. Now you got future, you got past, you got present, you got later, you got now, you got everybody. Yeah,
little babies, the baby.
You know what I mean? So
we're not the old guys because we want to salute what we like. And we believe that being good at something is still a real thing.
It's a thing.
Like, you're gonna go to a surgeon. That's good, right? That's what we want to do with rap. We want to bring it back to giving credit to people that are good at what they do.
Hey, look, man, we ain't athletes, baby. The mind still gets sharp. As I get older, the mind gets sharper. I'm way better now than I was at 21 when I started. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I wrap circles around 21-year-old me. Like
Hey,
21-year-old me can't hold the candle to 42-year-old me.
exactly. And that's what we want to highlight, brother. That's exactly what we want to highlight. We want to highlight
appreciate
these
y'all,
people
man.
that really still put work in with the pen. These people that don't just, you know, just put a song out just to put a song out. We like songs with meaning. We like songs that, you know, elicit conversation. We like songs that are introspective. We like bars, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, like, when you add all of that together and, like, you know, this project, like, you have these anecdotes where you have, like, LS400 and Mother's Day and all of these joints. Like, they're a collection of nostalgia. They're a collection of a feeling. And, like, not only are they stories, it's so well written that it's poetic.
Yeah.
And we want to salute that. We want to highlight that. Like, writing is not something that should be taken for granted. It's not something that everybody can do, because if it was, everybody would do it.
Absolutely.
So we want to salute your pen game, brother. We definitely want to make sure we do that.
Thank you, man. Like I said, I appreciate it, man. I've always respected Shy and his pen game. So to when he hit me and told me he wanted me on the episode, I was like, oh shit, like hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want from you know, from a person you respect and admire their pen, for them to acknowledge yours, man. That's part of what we do this for. You know what
Absolutely, man. And it was tough to choose. We could have did a whole episode on, like he said, Mother's Day. I think that song just stands out to me, you know, because we love our mothers. And you shouted out Mama K. You want to give some love to Mama K right now?
Yeah, shout out Mama K, man. So that's my my best friend Vincent, his mom's.
Nice.
So like the first verse is me talking about my mom, my actual mom, and then I kind of moved in with them. My mom, she moved like 2 weeks after I graduated high school. She moved, and they lived a few houses down from us. And so I was going to college at the end of the summer. So she was like, yo, you can stay with us, because I had a job, and of course all my friends was there. So I stayed with her. And then every summer when I did come home, I went to her house. I never went back and lived with my mom. And she always, like, it's a picture of me hanging up on the wall when you come in with her other two kids. And, you know, her oldest daughter, you know, we talk all the time, and, you know, what's up, sis? What up, bro? What up, little bro? So Pops, you know, like they basically took me in as a part of the family. So I wanted to give her flowers as well, because she didn't have to do that. And she's the reason why I even ended up in North Carolina in the first place, because I was all set to go to Old Dominion. And she put some things in play, and I ended up at Central getting a scholarship I had no business having. It was a biology scholarship. I had a biology scholarship for 2 years, and I didn't step foot in the science department. You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't even know you was from VA till we did a song together.
Yeah.
I thought you was from NC.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, that's where Little Brother started, so it was easier just to say we from North Carolina versus he's from Greensboro, he's from Winston, he's from Virginia. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So yeah, that was Mother's Day, man.
Nah, dope.
And I wanted to do a song that my mom could listen to that ain't had no cursing in it, because she
gotta have one of those.
Yeah, my mom, she don't be listening to my music like that. She don't give a shit.
Man, I feel like we kindred spirits, not because when you jumped on the joint Believe Me with Astronaut that our verses aligned, like the place you were in, talking about your name, just talking about who you are on that record, but more because I used to play Donnell Jones' Where I Want to Be, track 3 for women back in the days. And I was like, this man to just say number 3.
So, number 3.
Hey, listen,
we are kindred spirits, my
Hey,
man.
you already know. You know what I'm saying? When I said that, Donnell Jones track 3,
that's it.
The people who knew. They knew.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Exactly.
They knew.
On that note, I'm gonna let you get out of here, brother. I want to thank you again.
Thank y'all, man.
Thank y'all. We really appreciate it, brother.
This was a great way to set off our open bar segment with featured guests. I don't even know what to say. This has been a blessing. Brown, you want to I want to talk to him, man.
Hey, we appreciate your time. I mean, I know it's not often, you get saluted by your peers. People giving flowers is not a thing. People often wait until they're gone to want to say nice things about people. But the premise of what we try to do, we want to give people their flowers while they're here. So
thank y'all, man.
Yeah, being able to bring you in and be able to salute you like in front of everybody with you here and being able to get into, some of the stories behind the music was we couldn't ask for anything more. So
thank
we
y'all,
want to
man.
thank you for your time, brother.
Definitely. Y'all, hey, look, man, y'all keep it going, man. Like, we need this. You know what I mean? The youngins need this. You know what I mean? Yeah. More than cats our age, the youngins need this.
Wow, absolutely.
Because it all makes sense. Reading, I love Big. I've listened to all the two Big albums. I ain't gonna say all of them because he got more.
Yeah, it's only two.
the two Big albums. And I started reading a book by Justin Tinsley that he put out. The title escapes me right now, but Justin Tinsley just put out a book on Big, and it's more about Christopher Wallace, right, than Big. And so reading that book and going back and listening to those songs, they mean something different to me now. Like I hear different things now. So, episodes like this and shows like this where people, can hear a little bit deeper into what went into the writing or the song, and then to go back. Now, I bet you they're gonna go back and listen to that song a whole lot differently.
Like, a lot different.
Even though it was a story and I painted a picture to know, okay, that's just real. It's just real.
Right.
And then you go back and listen to it again. It's going to hit you much different. So, we need this, man. So I appreciate y'all, brothers, for real.
It's gonna be a lot of reels promoting this one, so prepare to get
Hey, listen, hey, don't just tag me, bro. Send them things to me, and I'll put them up too.
I got you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Everybody watching, To Dream in Color, go get that. Don't just stream it, buy it.
Right. Don't just stream it.
And I got bullied into doing vinyl. Okay. The internet bullied me.
Classic. I love it.
Yeah, we need that.
So I'm gonna do something special. Well, I'm doing something special. I'm on the vinyl. There will be hopefully 2 tracks that's not in the digital format and will not be in digital format. Nice. They will only be available through vinyl, and the vinyl will be very limited edition. I'm not doing a lot of them, but I'm working on that now so I can get that to y'all. Since y'all bullied me into doing vinyl, vinyl is on the way. You better buy it.
You heard that. we gonna cop one too. We
definitely gonna cop one. We're gonna add it to the wall.
Cool,
yes, indeed.
All right, y'all. Y'all, peace. Take no balls off out there, y'all.
Appreciate you, bro. All right.
Yes, indeed.
Real spitters take no balls off. Yeah. MCs take no balls off.